Yeah, my name is PolishLynx. Welcome back to Seduce Me the Otome. And we are kidnapped, and maybe we'll use some magic to run away. Soon the world around me returned to normal with Malik smoking me. I closed my eyes and began to mutter a spell from my memory. Spiritus Lumine da Fortitudinem Tuam.
What the? Latin? What are you?
Diskedo! All of a sudden, a wave of light burst from my body, washing over the room and pushing the devils away from me to the ground. As the light quickly faded, I shook my head, feeling a small weakness in my legs. Malik quickly hopped up and growled at me, obviously surprised but irritated beyond belief.
Where did you learn that? I will rip that tongue right out your mouth!
Spiritus Tenebrarum Periculum Prohibere.
Come here!
Malik charged at me, dropping the gun that would never hurt me to the floor, and reaching for my face. However, I quickly crouched down and covered my head with my arms, while a dark magic circle appeared under my feet. Above me, a dark shield appeared, blocking Malik from touching me.
How? You're just a human!
Maybe not. A human who knows how to fight back. I pushed against the shield, forcing Malik's back from before standing. I wasn't some damsel in distress. I could fight for myself. I shook out the sudden appearance of numbness in my hands as I glared at Malik, challenging him once again to come at me.
Malik!
No! Stay out of it! I'll kill this bitch with my own two hands one way or another!
As commanded, Ares stood away from us, along with the other devils. The group watching us was lost in intrigue as I stood up against their leader.
Oh, you must think you're some tough shit since you were 17 and magic. Well, guess what, princess? Demon magic consumes energy. I can play this all day. You finally lose all your energy. Your ass is grass.
I glared, knowing that what he said was true. I couldn't hold out forever, but definitely I had the energy to last a while until someone found me or until I could overpower Malik somehow. Malik charged at me once again, causing me to run backwards to keep some sort of distance. I could feel energy wanting to shoot out of my hands, so I pointed my pulse at Malik's. Light purple spikes suddenly began shooting from my hands, forcing Malik to skid back. I had terrible aim, not only able to scratch the edges of his body with one or two actually stabbing into his shoulder and leg. Malik growled, pulling them out and throwing them to the ground.
Quit playing around, Malik!
I lowered my hands, feeling the numbness run up through my veins to consume both of my arms. I began to pant, desperate for some relief before continuing. Malik smirked at the sight. For the love of God, please someone find me, I prayed. I hoped that I wouldn't have to keep fighting. I was becoming desperate. What made everyone in that warehouse drop out their fighting faces was the screeching of police sirens coming close to our location. Malik smirked even wider.
It's time to have fun, boys! Make sure you kill them all!
The devils all seemed to be excited and started to walk past us to meet with the cops. But the loud finger snap stopped them and made them turn around. Malik and I looked to see Ares with her hand in the air post-snap.
Ares? What are you doing?
Enough, Malik! We've wasted enough time in this stupid town. I'm getting out of here and I'm taking the rest with me.
I didn't know whether to laugh or not. I bit my tongue and Malik got angry again.
Like hell you are! Boys, do as I say, or else!
None of the boys moved. Ares snapped her fingers again, causing the boys to rush back past her and out another way from the warehouse.
Malik, it's over. You can't even beat a human girl. You're losing your powers. Lower devils only follow higher-ups that actually have power.
Shut your mouth!
Malik summoned his gun to his hand and shot multiple times at Ares, who somehow managed to teleport away from the shooting line and reappear by us. She shook her head, letting out a sigh, before grabbing Malik by the neck and pulling him off of me. Malik started to choke as Ares stared coldly at him.
All this for a bunch of pretty boys. You must be stupid and desperate.
Ares looked to me, making me tense up.
Human! I suggest heading home to your pretty boys. You don't want to get involved in a supernatural investigation. It's a pain in the ass.
She then turned back to Malix, glaring daggers into him as he glared back at her.
You really think women are weak? Let me fix that, sweetie.
Kick his ass, please. And with that, Ares vanished into the shadows, taking Malix with her. As I was with the phone, the police siren stopped. I looked over to the open passage to see the Incubi with a large police siren megaphone, staring at me in surprise.
Where is he? I swear I'm gonna...
He's gone. Ares took him and left. They won't be coming back. It was all so surreal. I was helped by a devil, but I quickly shook off the feeling. I was alive and that was all that mattered. I fought to stay alive and there I was. The boys tried to question me, but James cleared his throat, catching the attention of his brothers and me.
Let's just get you home, miss. There's nothing more to see here.
Altogether we began to walk out of the warehouse, back home. There was no way in hell anyone was going to find out about this. It was over. Malix was gone and the boys were finally safe. A wave of relief ran through my body and the thought of never having to deal with that group again. At the same time, a ping of realization hit the back of my mind. The boys were only going to stay until after Malix was defeated. That was our deal. As we approached home, I could feel something heavy weigh down my heart. It was late, but the boys led me inside and turned on the lights in the lobby.
Finally, we can relax.
It will be good to have some rest without devils breathing down our necks.
I'm just tired. Can I hit the hay early?
I think some sleep would be good for all of us.
I looked to Demin, knowing he could read my mind, and frowned. I didn't want him to know about my thoughts on the situation. Yeah, bed sounds good. I wanted to just end tonight. Too much had happened and I felt dizzy just trying to figure it out. However, Demin spoke up, stopping all of us from moving.
Should we be gone in the morning?
The air became still with tension. The realization of the situation hit the boys like a wave, forcing them to turn to me in curiosity. They had remembered their deal, and were now awaiting me to decide their fate. However, I knew my answer. I couldn't keep them here. I knew I couldn't. They were demons and I was a human. I needed to deal with my own life, beyond anything else. If the boys stayed, my life would only become more complicated. I think that would be best. James nodded in agreement, keeping a professional tone in his voice as he replied to me.
Then we will be gone before you wake, miss. Thank you for letting us stay here as long as we did.
Heh. Well, that's something I didn't expect to happen. I couldn't feel the upset emotions of the Incubi reverberate in the room, but I couldn't change my mind. I had too much going on in my life to let them stay, no matter how much I wanted them to.
It was a pleasure to have served you, beautiful lady.
It was hard watching each boy turn away from me for the last time. I stood there, waiting for them all to leave the lobby.
I guess this is goodbye. Yeah. Have a good one.
I stuck to my guns. I knew I was making the right choice. No.
Thank you for having us, miss. Maybe we'll see each other again.
Well, why do I feel bad now? Maybe not.
Goodbye.
As the man left my side, I finally let in the air that I was denying into my body and sighed. My life would return to normal. Well, as normal as it could be. However, I was smarter and wiser than before. I knew of things beyond humanity. I had come to learn about the boys and about the existence of the supernatural. I wasn't blind to what was beyond human life. Learning of this made me more open-minded. I nodded to myself before heading to my room, closing the door and mentally allowing the reality of the situation to sink in. Tomorrow I had school, no devils to kidnap me, no Incubi to wake up with. I went to bed that night, accepting and not regretting anything. Or so I had hoped.
You are an interesting creature.
And who are you? Go away! I opened my eyes to see a woman staring down at me with a very slight smirk on her face. I opened my mouth to scream in fright, but a hand quickly covered my mouth.
No screaming now. Too early, silly girl.
I could only stare up at the woman above me. I still felt weak, not having the strength to move and fight her off. She was very beautiful, but... In what place she is beautiful, please? What is wrong with you, girl? But I felt more anger than amazement.
Why do the boys like you? You're unique, yes, but that can't be all that you have going for you.
Rage began to consume my core again. This woman, whoever she was making me mad. She must have known as she let another spin grow onto her face.
Ooh, you're feisty. That could be why.
Before I could bite her hand in anger, she removed her hand from my lips, standing up and staring down at me from her place next to my bed. Okay, you are hot. I changed my mind, she's hot. Well, that was just... The angle was bad. She's hot. Who the hell are you and why are you in my room? The woman began to laugh, making the rage inside me increase. I wanted to punch her, but I waited for her answer.
How silly of me. I forgot that we demons are not well known of in your world. You can call me Diana, little human.
Diana. Demon. How the demon? You're a demon.
I am, but I'm much more than just an average demon.
You're a hot demon. What do you mean?
Silly girl. I'm a succubus.
I started in a shock. A succubus. First Incubi, now a succubus. Great, I have now met both genders of sex demons. Diana crossed her arms under her bosom and looked at my body.
Well, you are pretty. But you seem very reckless. Too reckless.
I moved out and stood from the bed, still glaring at Diana. Why are you here?
Well, I came here to clean up what the boys clearly forgot to clean. Men, so sloppy.
What do you mean by that?
I mean erasing your memories, sweetie.
No! This woman wasn't serious, was she? She comes into my room and spouts this. This was ridiculous. I began to walk towards my door, wanting to leave the room. The boys could get rid of her. I had no mind about dealing with her myself.
The boys are gone, sweetie.
I froze in place. What, they were gone already? No way! I turned to Diana, glaring hard at her as she kept a smirk to me. You're lying.
Am I? If you want to go see for yourself, you can. But I promise you'll be wasting your time.
I started trying to find anything if she was lying. She had to be. The boys wouldn't just up and leave without resting first, right? Diana crossed her arms and waited for me to make a choice. I decided to believe her or no. I'd find some hint in this conversation. What do you mean, take my memories?
Well, we demons can't have just anyone knowing about us. You have to completely devote your soul to learning about us. And even then, it's not always guaranteed that you can be granted knowledge of us.
What makes me not deserve to know everything? I was attacked by devils. I found the boys in my house, wounded, and sheltered them. I think I deserve to remember those moments. Diana let out a laugh, running a hand through her hair before looking back to me, amused.
You were attacked by a gang and were almost killed. You found 5 homeless men and let them stay in your home. There's nothing special about either of these instances.
Yeah, there was.
A human like you can't understand the rules. The boys themselves aren't even aware of the rules. They'll learn soon enough.
Diana flipped her hair before looking to me with a stern look.
Listen, sweetie. You're not going back to bed or leaving this house with those memories. I'm taking them from you, one way or another.
I glared, standing my ground. You're not taking my memories. I'm not letting you take them.
And what do you plan to do with them, huh? Tell the press? Gossip to your friends that demons exist? Confess to your parents that you had demon servants and were almost killed by a devil gang?
Now she was making me mad. Did she seriously think I was this stupid? These memories were precious to me and I wasn't going to let her win over my mind. These memories are important to me. I know that other creatures exist. I know that magic exists. I'm more open-minded now.
Open-minded or gullible?
What did she mean by that? The point of being open-minded was to be open to all thought. How was it anything close to being gullible?
There is nothing to learn from remembering the boys that won't bring trouble. I'm merely saving you from that. There are more than just demons who want to keep their existence a secret.
Tell me about it.
There are many creatures in this world that don't want to be known of, and you remembering a small fragment is not acceptable to them without good reason.
Diana smirked.
If you would have kept the boys, or at least had one of them around, they'd be a little more lenient to listen to your pleas. However, you're about to go into tomorrow without any of them around.
How about you? I couldn't believe my ears. There were more than just demons. Other fictional creatures existed. There was a system. What? Diana sighed and snapped her fingers, lifting my body up from the ground with her magic.
Look, I can kill you and no longer waste what little time I have, or I can erase your memories and go on with my life. I have more important things to do above arguing with you.
I looked down at the ground to see something that made every nerve in my body quickly quake in fear. On the ground was a large open mouth with sharp, wet teeth leading to an empty black abyss. I could feel the heat from the mouth's breath pant against my floating body. I looked to Diana, who was looking at me with a stern and almost heartless gaze.
Make a choice, sweetie. Give up your memories, or be a demon's snack. I warn you, he's quite the biter.
So, what should I do here? What should I do here? I was panicking. I was about to die. Again, the boys weren't here to protect me. What was I going to do? Make a deal with Diana. Give up the memories. Fight! Make a deal? Then I remembered. Demons had a conscience. They weren't heartless without reason. She could be reasoned with. Let's end the episode here. Maybe we'll make a deal. Or maybe not. We'll see. See you then. Bye. See you in the next one.